troglodytes, and welcome back to another video. So, in today's episode, we will be creating an adorable little Raspberry Pi based NAS, Network Attached Storage Device. So in the middle we have the Raspberry Pi 5, which is, the heart of this little beast. On the bottom is the thing that really makes this work. It is the Geekworm X1011 PCIe to 4 M.2 NVMe SSD board for Raspberry Pi, not support RAID. On the top I have my Waveshare PoE hat compatible with Raspberry Pi high power onboard cooling fan with metal heatsink, supports 802.3 AF/AT network standard. So that's my I love reading out just the full product name, even though it's absolutely preposterous because it's just full of SEO spam. Yeah, so generally having 4 NVMe's on the bottom of the Raspberry Pi isn't really a recommended configuration because they're going to be extremely bottlenecked by the very limited amount of PCIe bandwidth. But, so if you care about, you want an SSD-based NAS for like super mega fast performance, you're not going to get that here. I chose it because A, I can use the SSDs I already have. So I already have a whole bunch of these little 256 gigabyte Micron OEM drives for reasons. And it's really, really compact, so it's really small. So it's this tiny little unit. And it also mounts on the bottom of the Raspberry Pi, because if I chose like the SATA hat, so I could put 4 SATA devices, well, A, I'd have to buy a whole bunch of SSDs, which I don't really want to do. And I wouldn't be able to use my Power over Ethernet hat because, well, these both go on the top of the Pi, and this has to go here. Yeah, this configuration, although it's not optimal, is the best configuration for what I want to do with this, so that's why I chose these components. And because, having Power over Ethernet just makes it so easy to deploy, because it's literally a single cable for power and data for everything. So I don't have to run a separate USB cable, I don't have to worry about that. It's a lot more secure. It's super clean, it's super easy, it's super nice, it's super compact. And so that's why I chose the components that I did. So, let's get into it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to follow the little old Jeffy B's, Jeff Geerling's instruction for how to prepare all this. So add the following config at the bottom. Just do that and save. Okay, let's paste that in then. Well, okay. So let's save that. Save modified buffer. Yes. Let's reboot the system then. And see what'll happen. Right there. So that should just be rebooting. Yep. Okay, it's rebooting. Yeah, we still have the raspberries. I like the raspberries. Alright, so we are SSH'd back into the system after rebooting it. Now let me just see if everything still works. So ls PCI. So it sees all of that. So it still sees all of my SSDs there. It's a good sign. Okay, so we're just supposed to run the Ansible playbook and then it should just work. Alright, so we have now cloned the Git repo. So that's on here. ARM NAS, that's what I want. And it just says to run Ansible playbook main.yml. So let's see what happens, I guess. I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's go see. So whoops. That's not what I want to have to type in the correct. It helps if I type commands into the terminal here. let's copy that, paste that in, and see what happens. Error, the role, Geerling security is not found in home trog rules, trog ansible rules, arm NAS, the error appears to be home trog. Alrighty then, so it's mad that something doesn't exist. So role Geerling, the role is not found in home trog, it's arm NAS roles. Alrighty then, so that whole Jeff Geerling thing didn't work because the whole roles folder wasn't gonna work, and then I thought that, I don't know, that was how he had it set up was probably very specific to his configuration, and this is like a very different configuration, so we're gonna be doing something else entirely. And hopefully that will work. So we're gonna partition our drives with fdisk. So we're just gonna do it by default. So fdisk -dev -nvme on1. Bada bing, bada boom. Fdisk. Okay. So now press N. So quick enough to just go into fdisk, press N, so N for help, what does N do? Add a new partition. Okay, so N, that's a new partition, partition number 1. That's fine, partition number 1, that's fine, last sector, that's fine. Okay, and press W to write it. So create a mount point. Alright, so I never actually did that. So sudo mdadm create verbose, so /dev, I guess, so dev md0. So dev /md, oops, dev slash, I don't see an md0. You didn't have one either in your, alright, so dev /md0, okay. So level 10, well, maybe I'll just do level 1. Level equals 1, I'll just do that. RAID D devices equals 4, that's what I have for drives, so /dev, can I just do that? So dev /nv, so dev /nvme, so nvme, so 0 to 3, N1P1, or just, I guess, I just had 1 there, SDA. Let's see if that'll work. No, this array has metadata at the start and not be suitable as a boot device. I don't care about that. If you plan to store boot on this device, ensure that bootloader understands. Yes. They have, okay, so now all of my NVMe drives should all be part of a simple RAID array. So they're all linked into one device. So now I should just be able to format this. So let's do it in the standard Linux format. So sudo mk, so make file system. So we're going to make our file system. .ext4. That's a standard. That's a good one. So /dev /md0. Bada bing, bada boom. So now it should just be putting a file system onto the RAID array, and then that will just be treated as one device. In theory, anyway. I'm not really sure what we're gonna get, but hopefully that'll just work. Very, very complicated command to dash dev /dev device /device md0 and then /mnt, so it's mount r, I guess, /raid1. Mount raid1. Mount point does not exist. May have more information after. Did I do that wrong, you think? So if I had read the instructions, I would have realized that I was supposed to create a mount point for the devices, because I wasn't able to find a mount point, because I didn't create a mount point. So let's try this again. Alright, so now hopefully this actually will work this time. So sudo mount /dev md0 /mnt raid1. Yeah, boy! Okay, that worked. Alright, now. Okay, that worked! Okay. Alright. We've conquered F-disk. It actually worked. Okay, that's exciting. Okay. Let's go. So, in theory, that's just all one device now. Ah, it's a palindrome. That's cool. .config persist. So make sure Madlum automatically configures the RAID array on boot. Persist the configuration into this file. Okay, so let's just do that. So I'm going to copy this. And I guess I'll just paste it into the bottom of this here. Like that. So let's do that. So, and to make sure the file system is mounted at boot, add the following to the bottom of your fstab file. fstab. So, I guess I'll just do that then. So dev md0 mount raid1 ext4 defaults. Yep, that's how I have it set, because I used a raid1 array. So that should work. Hopefully, let's do another reboot. So hopefully that'll show up. So we're gonna reboot it, and hopefully something will happen here. Alright, so we'll have bada bing, bada boom. I rebooted it and everything's still there and mounted, so that's a good sign, I think. Yeah, I've added that. Create a shared folder. So, I guess let's do that then. So mount raid1. Let's call it shared, sure. That works. That exists. Okay, so that folder exists on mount /raid1. Okay, so that's a good sign. To run the following command to grant read, write, and execute permissions to use the folder on all users on your Pi. Okay, I can do that. So sudo chmod mount /raid1 /shared. Okay, it has permissions. So Samba is like the generic web server or file server, I guess. That's the thing that will actually share the folder and make it available to other computers, which is precisely what I want it to do. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so then tell Samba to share the directory over the network. We can give Samba instructions via the Samba configuration file. Alright, so mount raid1/shared. Writable, yes. Create a mask. Directory mask. Public, no. Copy it. I can copy the command. This is the beauty about being SSH'd in, is I can just copy things. It's all on the same computer. Alright, so that's been restarted. So finally you want to grant access to your Samba share. So only authenticated users can access the file over the network. Run the following command to create a user to manage Samba sharing. So in theory, this should, I should be able to just use it now. In theory, so let's go here onto my computer. And let's see, I guess. So network. Oh, NAS, there we go. That shows up, that's a good sign. Oh, look at that, okay. NAS. Oh, I'm in there. NAS, shared. Oh. So that didn't actually, so the whole, oh no, so the whole RAID thing didn't actually work how I wanted it to. It's annoying. So that didn't quite work how I wanted it to. It works, but not quite how I wanted it to. We have shared. And this says there's only 250 gigs total, which means it's only using one of the drives. Oh, that's funky. Or is it just triple redundant? Did I just make it triple redundant? Can I, well, I don't know if it works yet. Can I can I create a new file? New folder. Test. Yes. Alright, can I make a new file in this folder? That's a little bit slow, but so maybe making it super big isn't great. Oh, no. There's an error copying it. Connection timed out. Alright, so that doesn't actually work. If I just put a small... What about a smaller file? Like a picture. Put a picture on there. Can I put a picture? So that worked. I have a picture. Alright, so it's been a week since I've last kind of built the NAS and configured it and got it working properly. I think before... So I think when we last left off it wasn't quite working properly. What I did after I recorded that clip is basically I started again from scratch. I put a fresh install of Raspbian, the Raspbian OS Lite on there, and I put it in a RAID 10 configuration instead of RAID 1. Because the problem I think with RAID 1 is that's only optimized for like 2 drives, so you have your data drive and your spare drive, your redundancy drive, and that was causing a lot of problems because it's like, how do I apply this to 4 drives or something? But RAID 10 seems to work, because RAID 10 is basically 2 RAID 1 arrays in RAID 0. So I think maybe in retrospect RAID 5 would have been the best, but Whatever, it works. It works actually perfectly. It works really well. I'm very happy with it. I also went and I put some heat sinks on those SSDs. So I got some like El Cheapo, NVMe coolers. And those seem to be working pretty well. So yeah. If I do a big old file transfer, let's put this one. Digital Foundry video. It's a pretty large file, and you see it's copying here at a full, eventually it'll give me the, there we go. It's copying at a full gigabyte-ish per second. It's a little bit slower, but it's speeding up. Yeah, so about a gig per second. Normally it's about like 96 megabytes per second. So when I initially set up the RAID 10 array, it was going at like 35 megabytes per second. Megabytes per second. It was going at about 35-ish megabytes per second. But now it seems to be consistently running at the full gig speed. So clearly it's bottlenecked by the networking interface. Wow. Yeah, so as you can see, SSD temperatures are just fine. They're running in the 40s. Before, when they had no heat sinks on them, they were running about 50C idle, in that range. They didn't really get that much hotter when I did a big old file transfer. But I mean, this is just after I did a big old file transfer, and the temperatures are pretty good for the SSDs. So the heat sinks are working. And yeah, overall, this server has been perfectly reliable. I mean, I've had to reboot it a couple of times. Because again, I had to change my whole desk around. And originally, I put the server actually in my tower right there, so I could put it up against one of the case fans to give it extra cooling when the computer was on. But now that I put those extra heat sinks on it, it doesn't need that. So yeah, it's been running really solidly for this past week. It's had no problems. So yeah, it works good. I'll keep you updated if there's any developments in like a state of the fleet aging wheel style video. So yeah, that's about it. Bye!